Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Back again. It's still Thursday, the 20th of August. This month's going by very, very fast. 2020. So now we are sitting, we're down in the cold storage room. What I kind of want to explain, because they're basically doing what, or going to be doing what I want to do. So I'm going to show you the floors first. So basically, okay, so this here was the wall of their house, okay? So what they had done is they put the door in over here, and then they had somebody come in and put the foundation in, and they concreted half of this here, as you can see, and the other half over here, they put gravel and stone down in here. So why did they do that? Okay, so the reason they did is because what they're going to do is they're going to put a wall in here and have a doorway here. This whole area over here is basically going to be like a freezer. So they're going to be insulating the walls, with they have that insulation that comes in the thickness like this. And then they're going to turn this into a freezer basically. So how are they going to do that? The way to do that is you take like 5-gallon buckets, salt water. Okay, so you put salt in the water because it stays better when you do that. You freeze those. Now, how do we do that here in New York? Real easy. We wait till winter. We take all the buckets outside and let them freeze outside. And then that way you bring them in, and then you're looking at 200-300 buckets is what you would be looking at minimum, maybe more. You would go maybe 2 or 3 deep, all the way up the walls, all the way around, and then what that's going to do, like down here in their cold storage area, it's much cooler. So it's like in that once you get underground and under the frost line, you're looking at a constant temperature of 58 degrees. Okay, so what they're going to be doing is when they do that, it's going to take it all the way down to 32 degrees. So now you have a freezer without any kind of electricity. And if you have this big of an area, think about how big of a freezer that would take with keeping it cold with electricity. It'd be like ridiculously expensive. Yeah. So with doing it this way, it's all natural. In an SHTF situation, you don't have to go, oh my God, how am I going to keep my freezers going and keeping that cold, for all the meats and stuff that you have. So that's what they're going to do here. But right now this is a potato bin, and once they harvest their potatoes, and I just had asked Patty, and they planted 50 pounds of potatoes this year. So whatever they get from potatoes, they harvest, if they have to purchase more, because tell them how many pounds of potatoes you used last year.
Last year we bought 400 pounds of potatoes because we didn't plant any last year.
Okay.
And we had about 50 pounds left over, so like you said, we planted those. But we have 4 kids and we have 12 grandkids, and they usually all come on Sunday for dinners. So you think, oh my word, how do you eat that many? Well, when you're eating every Sunday and you're eating that many
as a family, right? And see, this is the other thing, guys, I've talked about before, how important family is. These guys live on a street that's actually named after their last name, which I won't say. But everybody that lives on this street, they're all family. Yeah. And I think that that's hugely important. And I've talked about the importance of family so many times. But in an SHTF situation, everybody's already here. Right. And anybody else that is not that far away, they can get here in a hurry. And that's a really, really good network of people to have, and different skill sets and everything like that. So, yeah, so they have, a lot of kids, a lot of grandkids, and they get together. And see, that's what's missing in America today, that family unit, getting together that once a week on Sunday and having that meal together as a family. I think that is awesome, just so you know. But so let's go over here, and so this is obviously, their pantry that they have underground, for to keep things cool. So if you want to go ahead and explain a little bit what your guys' process was.
Well, we call this our root cellar, and everything that I can, I put in here because I can do that without any problems. I have a separate pantry that I keep for my drier goods and things that I buy.
And we'll look at that in a minute, yeah. Yes.
And so last year, just to give you an idea, last year I canned 1,000 jars. I mean, all varieties, you know, so there's all kinds is here, and then behind you there's another shelf of, you know, applesauce, and that's grape juice, and it's like a grape pie filling, and those are kidney beans down there.
Okay.
Now, I buy all my beans bulk. I do have some cans because I like that, you know, if I want something quick.
Right.
So I keep a few of them on hand, but I usually buy the beans bulk. Then I can up a bunch of them like that, and then I restock my dry beans.
Okay.
These two things here, they were just given to us last year, and they have worked out wonderful for putting our empty jars.
Okay.
Because if anybody out there that's canning, they know, oh, what a hassle that is. You're trying to take stuff off the shelf, and you're using it, and now you got new, empty jars, and you're moving this and putting the empty jars in the back. So I said, oh, I need something that I can put my empty jars on. And like I said, this has just been wonderful. It's been a godsend for that. So what else would you like to know? You want to see like the different, what we have?
Yeah, if you want to kind of explain in your thinking of what you can and why you can it.
Well, this here, actually it's a real good picture. This here is actually spaghetti sauce with hamburg in it. And one of the things that I do, I like to can spaghetti sauce with hamburg in it. One, it reduces the amount of hamburg that I have to have.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's something that I want quick and easy with just a little bit of hamburg, some sauce, I use that. And then I have my regular spaghetti sauce that doesn't have any hamburg in it. These here this is like ham broth. So when we cook ham or we cook turkey or whatever kind of meat we cook, like this here, that's turkey. I'll take the broth off it.
Okay.
I'll cook down the bones when we get done, and I make my own broth.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So you got a nice base for whatever you want.
You got a good base.
Yep. Okay.
And one of the things that we did, now we've been prepping since about mid-90s.
Okay.
We got into it with the whole Y2K thing.
Right, sure.
And thought, well, if something does happen, I want to make sure we're ready. And it really opened our eyes to the need to be prepared.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And this here is homemade spaghetti or homemade tomato sauce.
Okay.
I like mine a little thick, so it has little pieces into it. But I love that. This is chili.
Okay.
So again, I have some pints, I have some quarts, and if I want something quick and easy, you say we've gone to the woods or something,
sure.
And you come in, you're tired and hungry. I like things that are fast. Grape. This is not grape jam. I don't like jelly. I don't like jelly. But when I made my grape juice, we reran the grapes back through my mill.
Okay.
And I thought, oh my word, I'll bet that'd be really good for jam. Well, it is wonderful.
Okay.
And so I've never seen anybody do grape jam.
Right.
This is actually apple jam. It's little pieces of apple in it. This, I don't know if you can...
Well, that one there you could kind of see right here.
Yeah, these here, that's actually peach.
Oh, okay. All right. You
This
can see
is
the little
peach.
chunks
It's got
of
little
peach.
pieces of peach in it.
Yeah.
The other's so dark on the apple. But you see, this has got a little bit of jalapeno in it. I like a little spice. This is where you see I've started canning my carrots. These are tomatoes.
Right.
So I have lots of tomatoes. Got 2 shelves of tomatoes. These are peaches. When we did our peaches up, and we did these here, we canned with honey instead of sugar.
Okay.
And we took them off our peach tree.
Oh, very cool.
So, salsa. So, spice, some of it spicy. It's got a little corn in it. Make all my own salsa. This is corn. Oh my word, we did up 10 bushel of corn.
Wow.
So we put some in the freezer, and I canned a bunch. String beans. This is actually, oh my gosh, this I think is funny, but you'll see the difference in, this is actually relish. Now you can see the difference. This is just a wonderful color of relish. And this is kind of brown. You think, what happened? Well, I had some natural sugar. They had brown tones in it. Never thought when I put that in there, it turned to brown.
Wow, that's cool.
So, this is homemade sweet pickles.
Okay.
This is the zucchini bread that I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
You can almost see the little pieces of zucchini in it.
Yep, yep.
It's wonderful. And we had, last year when we made it, I just opened some up maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just like the day I baked it.
Oh,
It was
very
really
cool.
good.
Very cool.
Dill pickles. This is ham. Pieces of ham. This is chicken. And you think, sometimes people will say to me, oh, but I don't can because I don't plant a garden. And I said, you don't have to have a garden to can.
Right, right.
You can buy stuff. When I worked out, this is beef.
Okay.
And if you've never had canned meat, oh, it's wonderful. It is so tender and moist. Now, this was something I started a couple of years ago, and it might be hard to tell, but this is actually Hamburg. I just put peppers and onions, some salt and pepper, and I put half a pound of Hamburg in it, and I filled it up with water because I wanted a little bit of broth on it.
Right.
And this works really well, like if we're doing tacos or something.
Okay.
So simple and so easy. Like I said, I like things that are quick. These here, I got crazy last year and I canned a bunch of potatoes. There's 2 ways you can do potatoes. You can do them with the skins and without. And there is a stronger flavor if you leave the skins on them.
Okay.
If you have new potatoes, a lot of times you can scrub them and take the skin off them.
Oh, okay.
But I canned them this way. And then I thought, what am I going to do with all, I had 2 shelves. And I thought, oh my word, what am I going to do with all those potatoes? Because they were little and I didn't want to cook them, for dinner. So I got the idea that I started canning bacon. And so what I do is I open one of these up.
Okay.
And I'll take maybe 1/3 to half a thing of bacon. There's like a half a pound in here.
Okay.
And I'll take that bacon and put it on the grill. And then I'll chop up an onion and put that on there, fry that down. And then I'll add a can of this in there, chop it all up, and you go, oh my word, it is wonderful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Very nice. We'll have it for breakfast and even for supper. Hamburger soup, chicken noodle soup,
Okay.
pickled beets. I think that one's lentil soup. This is just veggie soup. This is actually elderberry syrup
Okay.
that I make. And butter. Butter is one of my, let me show you the difference in these here. And you can see this. See how it kind of separated here? Okay? And sometimes, I don't know if you can tell that, but it's a little bit different color. When you're canning butter, now I've seen a lot of people, they'll boil it and skim it off and make the ghee and all that, and I don't do that.
Okay.
I melt it and I put it in the jar. But the difference between this jar and this jar is this was shaken.
Oh, okay.
So as it cools down, you wanna
Shake it?
You wanna shake it until it gets to a point where it doesn't break apart. Now you
okay.
can open this and you can stir it, and it's still fine.
Right.
But you can see there was a batch there that I did.
Now, do you want to show us your other pantry real quick,
Sure.
too? Because,
Yep.
again, we're running on. The time continues to roll on.
Yep.
So that is the root cellar, okay, guys? So that's where they have that there. And then this is their other dry pantry.
Yep, this is our dry pantry, and a long time ago, what I started doing, no matter what I buy it in quantity.
Okay.
And I never go to the store, I never have to say, I gotta go get such and such,
Because you have it.
Because I have it. I buy it in quantity, and then I just replace as I use it. And, like maybe here, this is like detergent. You can say here, it's got 320 on it, and if you go back here, that has 720 on it.
Oh, okay.
Now, another thing that I did it last year, and this was, if you're first starting out stocking,
Okay.
one of the things is like, how much do I need for a year? Because I believe biblically you should have at least a year's worth of food.
Sure.
Because it says you put away during the harvest time, and then you only harvest once a year.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So anyways, I started numbering them. I date everything that I buy, and I number what it was. And what I figured out, of course, this was from last year, I only went through 4 of these.
Over the whole course of the
Over
year.
the whole course of the year. So I have about 2 years worth of soap.
That's a good way of doing
Yeah.
it.
And that way you just know. And then, like I said, everything has a date on it, so you put the dates. You always move the new stuff to the back.
Correct, yep.
And I do a lot of dried stuff. Like these are carrots that we dehydrated. And that's onions that we dehydrated. This is peppers.
Okay.
Oh, this is, you might find interesting. Do you know what that is?
Looks like pumpkin, possibly.
No.
No?
It's actually eggs.
Really?
Yeah, you take your eggs, and I kind of played with it, watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I wanted something where I didn't, like in the wintertime, our egg supply goes way down.
Yes, yeah, the production
So
is
I've
way
done
down.
a couple different things. One, I freeze my eggs. I put them in muffin tins, and then I put the muffin tin in the freezer, and I freeze it, and then I pop them out and put them in a plastic bag.
Okay.
The other thing I do is I beat them up, and then I put them on a...
You shouldn't beat anything up, Patty. It's not nice.
I whip them.
Oh, you beat them and then you whip them. Poor chickens.
Yeah, that's still not a good choice of
All
word.
right, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So I pour it on, a solid... it has to have a little lip on it, and I throw it in the dehydrator, and then there's a process you go through to do the eggs.
Oh, that's cool.
But you take about a little bit of a rounded tablespoon, couple tablespoons of water, and you got a couple eggs.
Oh, that is very, very cool.
And I've actually tried them and done
And it
scrambled
works?
eggs,
Yeah.
and I go, oh, okay, I didn't know. I couldn't tell the difference.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. One of the other things that I do is like this. This here's chocolate chip cookies. And
Oh,
it's
so you get all the
everything.
ingredients.
Yeah. And I just put on here, I just wrote on it, add a half a cup of butter and a quarter cup of water. Hence why I can my butter.
Right, so you always have butter.
I always have butter. So there's, and I make my own stuffing. That's, whole wheat. I do some, that's whole wheat and white mixed.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. And then probably the last thing that we do is we do buckets. Now, I love these buckets. These are food grade buckets. We date what it is and date when we bought it. So actually this is sugar and this is $3.19. This is our oldest bucket. And then that's actually brown sugar. And this one here is sugar, and it's, no, that's $9.19. That can't be right. And that's $11.19 down there. So I always have sugar, the sugar, flour, and wheat, because I make my own bread, so I grind my own wheat.
Sure.
I have beans, rice, different kinds of beans and rice, oatmeal, so all those things.
Okay.
And I love these because, well, when you
Yep.
open them up, they're much easier.
They're so much. Yeah, they're awesome. That's the
Much
best
easier.
way to do it. The best way to do
See,
it.
that's actually sugar, but it's raw sugar,
Oh, okay.
so it has a brown tint to it.
Yeah, the gamma lids are unbelievably awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they really truly are. Because my oldest buckets, I have the solid lids, but then you have to have the tool to pop them off.
Yeah.
Well, with the gamma lids, not only can you reuse them and reuse them and reuse them forever and ever, but they're very convenient, and you can go in and get what you need and then reseal everything else back up. So that's I love them as well. All right, well, guys, we're going to jump off here because this one's now like, another 20-minute video. So I just, I wanted to, kind of do a little bit of a canning video. And now this video is basically showing, the root cellar and the dry pantry that they have here. So it's a really good example of, how they're doing stuff, which is awesome. But again, it's about organization, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. Like I said, I love the idea with the laundry soap, figuring out, how many you're going to use in a year, and then, and have, like you said, having them numbered. I think that's a really great idea. People definitely steal that idea and use that for yourselves, because it's a great way to figure out, okay, how much do I want to have on hand? Do I want to have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever the case may be? It puts you in a position, once again, where everybody else is scrambling and trying to figure out what to do. You're already set.
That's right.
And that's and again, with having stuff on hand, it's just a smart way to do it. It really, really, truly is. And when that time comes and chaos ensues, the last thing you want to worry about is, oh my God, I got to get to the store and get food. because you don't want to be in that situation then, because that could be very, very violent. You know, I see you got the dry milk as well over there. Yep. So I do the same thing. I actually just packed up a couple of the buckets yesterday with the dry milk. So it's awesome thing to have. Diversity with what you're drinking, having the Kool-Aid and iced tea and lemonade and everything else that you can make up after a post event is a really good thing to have as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off here once again. I hope you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here again.
You're welcome.
Sharing what you have here. So, and here is their address. No, I'm only kidding. So, but anyway, it gives an idea of, hopefully you can take some of the ideas that she's talked about, utilize them for yourselves. It makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. So remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. Also remember STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, if you work at it methodically, it will happen. Now here's something that I wanted to say. They did not do this overnight.
No.
This took time. They worked at it. And actually, see, they got the thermometer in here as well over here, so they can keep an idea of what the temperature is in here, which is very, very smart as well. But, anything worthwhile takes time.
Yes, it does.
And if you work at it and before you know it, you're going to have a pretty stocked pantry like they have here.
That's right.
Okay, so guys, I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1.
Bye.
Bye for now, and thank you again, Patty.